Hello, hope you are doing fine. Let's start with today's lecture. The topic for today is noble gases. Noble gases are the eighth group or the 18th column of the periodic table on the rightmost side. The elements found in the rightmost column of the periodic table are known as noble gases. So, the group 18 elements are called the noble gases, and it contains helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. So, uh, as the name of the group states, noble gases. So, all of these elements found in the 18th group, we can call it 18th column or 8th group. This is actually 8th group. Um, are in form of gaseous state. So, these are called noble gases because they rarely combine with other elements and are found only as uncombined elements in the nature. As we know that oxygen is found in molecular form, like O2, two atoms of oxygen are combined through a covalent bond and they stick together. So, when two atoms are bonded together, it is known as biatomic. Uh, Same like that, the carbon dioxide, uh, in carbon dioxide, one carbon and two oxygen atoms are combined together. So, in carbon dioxide, one carbon and two oxygen atoms they bond together through a covalent bond. So, in that case, also three atoms are basically combined together. So, all other elements of all other groups they cannot exist in a single atomic form. So but the noble gases they are found only as uncombined because they have the reason behind that is they have a complete outermost shell. We have discussed about the number of electrons in the outermost shell. So the number of electrons in the outermost shell basically every atom intends to or um, it it like needs or to complete its outermost shell with with eight electrons. But in the case of noble gases, all of in all of the noble gases, the outermost shell is basically complete filled with the complete octet or the eight electrons. This is just a simple definition because why does not it react with the other elements? Because it cannot, because it is already stable. So when an atom is already stable, it will exist in the single atomic form, and it will have a complete octet and it will not react with any other compound, any other element, sorry. And their reactivity is very low. That is because they are very stable. So helium is less dense than air. The most the major constituent of air is nitrogen, and nitrogen exists in the diatomic form. That means if we go into the details of the periodic table, you can see that the atomic mass of the nitrogen is 14. So when it exists in the diatomic form, and the mass would be like the mass of two atoms of nitrogen would be 28, but mass number of helium is 2. So 2 is very less than 28. So that means 2 is basically lighter than 28. So helium gas is a lot lighter than the air. The helium is less dense than air, so it is great for all kind of balloons. So all of the balloons, in most of the balloons, helium gas is used. The most lightest gas is hydrogen gas, but as I have told you, hydrogen is highly flammable. So that is why, due to some accidents in the history about hydrogen and gas being like it blew up and it was like an accident. So that is why helium gas is used nowadays for balloons. and as it is very lighter gas than air, so it is not reactive, so it is safe, and it it does the purpose of flying the balloon. So helium balloon lift instruments into the upper atmosphere to measure atmospheric conditions. So this is a other than recreational balloons. This is an industrial use for helium balloons that will lift instrument into the upper atmosphere to measure atmospheric condition. So it is like an economical way of carrying the instruments into the upper atmosphere. So even though hydrogen is lighter than helium, helium is preferred for these purposes because helium will not burn. So even a very small spark would burn the hydrogen gas, and it would be like a tiny bomb blast. So that is why helium gas is used. Some uses, some other uses for the noble gases are actually my daughter is a little ill today, so she like needs she's requiring, and she's just kind of sticking with me. Uh, that's why. If you think there is some like a kind of break in the lecture, that is the reason. So uses for the noble gases are uh, the neon lights, as you see in the advertising signs, can contain any of the noble gases, just not neon. So they are named as neon lights, but it can be any other gas than the noble gas, any other gas than neon, but it would be a noble gas. For example, electricity, when electricity is passed through the glass tube, uh, for these lights to work, electricity is passed through the glass tubes that make up the sign. For example, as you can see in this open sign, and these are like the glass tubes. And when electricity is passed through these glass tubes, these glass tubes like and they lit up. So uh, as you can see, these two are like of different colors. So the two different kind of noble gases are filled in these glass tubes. For example, um, each noble gas produces a unique color, and the electricity caused the gas to glow. So the example was helium glows with a yellow color, neon glows with a red orange color, and the argon produces a bluish violet color. So in this light also, as you can see, there is one red orange color, so there might be neon in these glass tubes, and the bluish violet, and there might be argon in these glass tubes. Or to get a mixture or a variety of light, you can also use like a mixture of some different gases. So, argon is the most abundant of the noble gases, and so argon, the most abundant of the noble gases on Earth, was found in 1894. So among the uh, eight or nine noble gases, argon is the most abundant one. Uh, like these are six noble gases, and the third one, the argon, is the most abundant one. The next one, krypton, is used with nitrogen in ordinary light bulbs because these gases keep the glowing filament from burning out. Okay, the krypton lights are used to illuminate landing strips at airports, and xenon is used in strobe lights and was once used in photographic flash tubes. So this is an interesting knowledge also. Like the krypton lights are used to illuminate the landing strips at airports. So this is how I think at the night times the pilots are like able to identify the landing strips. So and xenon is used in the strobe lights and was once used in the photographic flash tubes. So at the bottom of the group is radon. Radon is a radioactive gas produced naturally as uranium decays in rocks and soil. So basically, when the uranium metal it decays, the uranium is also radioactive, and it is used in uh, nuclear industry. So when uranium decays, it forms two to three more products, and one of those products is radon gas. If radon seeps into a home, the gas can be harmful because it continues to emit radiation. When people breathe the gas over a period of time, it can cause lung cancer. So it is kind of very dangerous gas. Some facts about the noble gases: all of the noble gases have a full outer shell, so they are very stable. They have low melting points and boiling point. That is why, because they are gases, they exist as single atoms rather than diatomic molecules because they have a complete outer shell. Helium is lighter than air and is used in balloons and airships as well as for talking in a silly voice. Yeah, it is also a very like an interesting use of helium gas. If you inhale helium gas, and I'll send you like a short clip also of what is meant. It is very kind of interesting. Will show you this with you an example. Helium is lighter than air, and as well as for talking in a silly voice. Argon is used in light bulbs because it is so unreactive, and argon, krypton, and neon are used in fancy lights. So that's it for the chemistry part. Sorry for the minor delays in this lecture. So I will attach a small video for the helium gas effect.